Okay, this is our review for Test 5 for 8th grade, and like I said, this is going to be online, and so if you're watching it right now, I'm glad you are, because this will help you get ready for the test. I'm going to go through things fairly quickly, because I'm kind of short on time today, but remember you're allowed to obviously pause things or rewind if you need to. So, oh, I do have all these names up here, don't worry about that. So, first question that we'll see tomorrow, or something very similar. The number of students in 4 rooms is 48, 50, 51, and 51. What is the mean number of students in the classrooms? Okay, mean, that's the key word here. Mean means average. So what we're going to do is add up 48 plus 50 plus 51 plus 51. We're going to do that. And once we're done adding all that up, we're going to divide by 4, because there are 4 classrooms. So once we do that, we should end up getting, let's see, 200 over 4, which will be 50. So we should be getting about 50 for the mean there. Alright? Or the average, same thing. Alright. Next problem. Josh ran and jumped 3 distances. 4.35 meters, 4.21 meters, and 3.95 meters. His longest jump was how much longer than his shortest jump? I won't go through and solve this one, but our longest jump was 4.35. And we're going to take that away from our shortest jump, which is 3.95. So if we do 4.35 minus 3.95, we should get how much further this jump was than his shortest one. Alright. This one caused a little bit of trouble today because we need to be careful on the directions. It says there are 14 girls and 16 boys in the class. What fraction of the students are girls? Well, it's important to know that there are 14 girls in the room, but this is not 14 out of 16. We actually have how many students in the room? We actually have 30 students in that room, because 14 plus 16 is 30. So 14 out of 30. And that can reduce to, divide by 2 here, we'll get 7 out of 15. Found a better marker to use here. Alright, so we should have been looking at number 3 there, 7/15. Have to be careful what they're asking for. This one caused a little trouble too. Okay. Ted started driving at 9 a.m. By noon, he had traveled 153 miles. What was his average speed? Okay, well, speed is found by distance covered over time. So speed is the distance that you covered over the amount of time it took. Well, we know that he traveled 153 miles. But how long did it take him to do that? Well, from 9 a.m. till noon, so that's 3 hours. So if we do 153 divided by 3, we should get 51 miles per hour. Miles per hour. Alright? Alright, one of the expand problems that we've been seeing all year, and still seem to cause us a little trouble. 4 times everything inside here. This means we are multiplying, so 4 times this, and 4 times that. So it's being expanded, or it's being distributed to each term. 4 times y plus 4 times 3. which is 4y plus 12. So we should be looking at number 4 there. 4y plus 12. Okay? Alright. This is a good one to look at too. So basically what we have here is the square root of 100 minus the square root of 36. And we're comparing that to the square root of 100 minus 36. There is a difference between these two, and we need to make sure that we know that there's a difference. Here we're treating the square root separately. Here we're going to subtract and then take the square root. And then we're going to fill this circle with whichever symbol is appropriate. So the square root of 100 is 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. Square root of 36 is 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. Bring down our circle there. 100 minus 36 is 64, so we have the square root of 64 there. 10 minus 6 is 4. Square root of 64 is 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. Which one's bigger, 8 or 4? Well, last I checked, 8's bigger than 4. So we should have been looking at number 1 there. Okay? Alright, arrange from least to greatest. We want to make sure that we know which ones are negatives, which ones are positives. We're always going to start with negatives because negatives are less than our positive numbers. Negatives are less than 0. So that eliminates number 3. We're not going to do that one. Okay? But we only have one negative number here. So it has to be negative 3/4 and then 0, which all of these follow. But then we got to look at our decimal numbers. 0.34, that is less than 1. That's not exactly 1. Because this is where our, what am I trying to say? This is where 1 would go. You know, we could have something like 2.34 or something like that. Or as we see here, we have 3.4. Well, we know that 3.4 is bigger than 1 because 1 we could write as 1.0. Okay, so 1.0 is definitely bigger than 0.34. So this one's in the wrong order because this one is smaller than this one. So that's gone. 3/4, that is not greater than 1 because 4/4 would be equivalent to 1. So we know that, let's see, which one was that? Okay, well this one broke that rule too because this is smaller than 1. Alright, but 4 and 2 look okay. The one that's out of order here is these two. So 3.4 is our biggest number. These two are less than 1. 0 is less than 1. Negative 3/4 is less than 0. So we should be looking at 2. This will not be multiple choice tomorrow though. So you have to be able to order these on your own. Alright. Two angles in a triangle both measure 36 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle? Well, in a triangle, our degrees add up to 180 degrees. So we're looking for that one right there. And if they add up to 180, we're going to add these two together. And we should get 72. We're going to take 180 minus 72. And get 108 degrees there. Alright. I'm going to flip to the next one and check my time here. About 5 minutes. All right. What type of triangle has two sides that measure the same length? Here we should be looking at number 2, isosceles. They have two that are the same length. Equilateral, that's when all the sides are the same. Scalene is when all the sides are different. And obtuse, that has nothing to do with sides. That has to do with one angle being bigger than 90 degrees. Alright, what is the area of a triangle with vertices at 0, 0, 0, 2, and 2, 3? This one, we have to graph them. And this one's pretty tough because we're going to get a triangle that's kind of weird. So this is our X, this is our Y. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're in the positive quadrant here. And 0, 0 is right here. 0, 2 is up here. And 2, 3 would be over 2 and up 3. So about right there. So we're looking at that triangle. Well, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. However, we're going to have issues because the base is, well, the height is at a 90-degree angle to the base. So if we call this our base, we'd have to have a height right here that's 90 degrees to the top. Or if we call this the height, we'd have to have a 90-degree, let's see here. Well, maybe we can do that. Let's do it that way. We'll call that right there our height, and we'll call this our base. So this is, what, 2 spots long? 1, 2. So this is 2. Here, I'll use a different color for this. Let's see, so height equals 2. And we're all in units here, so that's just 2 units. That means our base would have to be this side right here. So base is 1, 2. Alright. And then we would say, well, we could plug in some numbers here. So 1/2 times our base, which is 2, times our height, which is 2. So we multiply these two together, you get 1/2 times 4, or 1/2 of 4 is 2, and we are in units squared. I apologize because today in class I did a much different way to solve this problem, which is okay. It's, you know, we can figure it out more than one way. The way we did it in class, and I'll point this out before the test tomorrow so we can see the easier way. What we did in class is we found the area of this whole rectangle, and then we subtracted out this area, and we subtracted out that area to be left with this. That's another way we could do it. I'll be sure to show us this simpler way before the test. Hopefully some of you are watching this right now and seeing that that way is a little more difficult. Alright, we have about a minute left for this one. So what I'm going to do is turn this into 2 parts. So I'm going to stop taping now, and we'll go to the next question on part 2.